Swine Before Pearls podcast with Joel and Trent.
Hey, welcome to the Joe Pearl podcast experience.
Hey, welcome to the possibly new podcast, possibly same podcast. I don't think we're keeping the same name. Do you want to discuss? Well, actually, we might discuss what's going on first.
Let's just make all our decisions live.
Okay.
You know what?
It's the
This
council.
is how we need to do stuff. Let's just do it live, make our decisions, and put it in stone.
Yeah.
Because I hate when you call me and it's like 9 o'clock at night and we have to talk about this stuff.
It takes a little while.
I'd rather just do it in front of an audience.
There we go. Get content
'Cause then you're
out
getting
of the effort.
the realest version of it.
Yeah. Is the realest effort? Is the realest version of you just like vaguely annoyed at me for
Probably.
trying to make this podcast work?
Probably. Dude, this is like, you couldn't have picked like a worse podcast partner because this is like an immovable object versus an unstoppable force
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like
That's part of the fun, though.
you literally found like the guy who can put lightning in a bottle, but like wants to put zero effort and put zero care into anything I do with this.
I've known that since the beginning.
I know, dude.
I've known that since the beginning.
I put no effort into this.
Yeah.
I just show up. And that's what I like to
And
do.
now
This
we're
feels
both putting no effort.
this
in. Look at
feels
that.
good. This feels a lot better.
Now that things are equalized.
Yeah, I just want to talk about crap.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Okay.
So we need to rebrand our podcast, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Maybe it's a new podcast. What do you think?
Well, we've already dumped so much money into the marketing.
True. And
What-
by we, I mean me.
Yeah, like look at all this pig stuff we
Oh,
have.
yeah. So just keep it's the same show. Just the premise is completely gone.
What about Swine After Pearls?
Swine After Pearls. Oh yeah. Well, the wild out of pocket name I was thinking of was my art teacher told me I'm going to become famous.
I kind of like that
Yeah.
one.
It's just like long and it's like the right amount of long to be kind of tasty.
Yeah. That truly shows you that men will literally take one compliment, like one nice thing, somebody says to them, like in passing, and they'll hold it dear to them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I think
That's
about
true.
about that comment a lot. I do.
Yeah.
Like
I had back in my Smash Bros days, right, when I played in Smash Bros tournaments, I was talking on the stream and someone in chat said like Trent, and they had like a little smiley face next to it, and I still think about that. Like they were so happy to see me on the stream.
Yeah. I got a death threat on Xbox Live one
Oh,
time. That
nice.
stuck with me for a while.
Yeah. Was that because you quit your game of Overwatch?
Yeah, dude. I did the
Yeah.
most base thing ever, which is if you do any like and I don't play video games really that much anymore. I'll do it casually, kind of like smoking a cigarette. You know, if it's there and people are down, I'll do it. But it's not something I'm chasing all on my own. But so like but for people who don't know, you know, there's like competitive stuff that you can do and like rank your stuff, and like nerds will get really serious about it and get really like aggro about it. And so the thing is, if you like quit in the middle of the game, like if you just have to leave, then you'll lose points, your team will do worse, and people will get really pissed off. So I'm in the basement one day playing this game, and my mom says, "Joel, dinner time." So what do? Well, I turn the game off and I go upstairs and I come back and there's death threats. And I was like, but I think it's literally the most base thing you can do is just
leave.
Just leave.
Yep. I had a
Like-
guy on Overwatch tell me that I was brain dead, and for some reason that stuck with me because
Because
it's
there
a
was
little too close to
validity
home.
in the statement.
It's a little too close to home.
Have you ever done an IQ test?
No, I haven't.
I've never done an IQ test either.
Yeah.
Can you do them like really quickly?
Maybe. I don't think it would make good content without being able to.
But if
see
they
your
had just like
screen.
a 5-minute version, just read out the IQ test fast.
IQ test,
Fast.
it'll be
and-
like 3 questions.
fast and free, baby.
It's like It's gonna tell you have an IQ that's like in the 99th percentile.
Fast, free, online, free IQ
Wait, is
test.
99th percentile higher?
All right, what's my birthday? June 3rd. Keep talking. I'm gonna.
Okay. Yeah, he's doing it. Okay, so
So
Joel, I've determined has an IQ of 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one of the 5 is least like the other 4?
All right.
Dog, mouse, lion, snake, or elephant?
So you got to decide this for yourself. I can't help you.
Oh, yeah,
out.
that's
Otherwise,
right.
it'll be our collective
I
IQ.
feel like a snake.
Okay.
Which number should come next in the series? 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Are these primary numbers? Because I suck at prime numbers.
Oh, that's up for you to figure out.
8, 3.
Does time play a factor in this?
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like this is kind of a boring question.
Peach is to Heccup as 46251 is to. I think I'm screwed. No. Wait, that makes sense.
Part of the pressure is on the.
No. I
Okay,
got this.
You got this. You got this.
I've figured
Dude,
it out.
your IQ is like 1 billion. Yeah, I think I understand it as well, but I'm also not looking at the questions.
But you've never had to do like an IQ test or anything?
No. I mean, they're not actually valuable information.
Dude, I've got to read these. This is way too hard. I'm just gonna.
How many questions is
I'm
this?
just gonna click through.
out of 20? Oh my god.
I'm just clicking through real quick.
You're gonna get an accurate
This is
IQ
like
score.
this
'cause
is
you're
like
clicking through.
how I did my IQ test or my regular test in college.
you just picked C the whole time. Is that what
Yeah.
happened?
They just can't give me number questions.
Oh yeah.
Fic pack.
I mean, multiple choice tests aren't normally college level. What were you doing, man?
I figured it out.
You figured it out?
But
what's even the point of taking an IQ test if you're not going to take the question
to show how
seriously?
smart. Well, if I do it fast, then they're like, "Yo, this guy's
Whoa.
really smart."
He got nothing right, but he clicked the button quickly.
Dude, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Your IQ is based on the mechanical skill of how quickly you can click.
Oh, true or false? I've got it.
Oh, yeah.
True. Trustworthy, reliable. Dude, I'm so good at this. Leginada, Angelina County.
I'm going to tell people this is your real IQ,
It better be.
whatever you get.
I got this. All right, 16 more questions to go.
I think you have to have an IQ of at least 70 to get into the military, so that's what you're aiming for.
You have to have an IQ to get into the military?
Yes, you do.
I thought they just took anybody.
You got well, if you have no IQ, then you're probably literally dead, you know?
No, I don't think that's true. Okay, here's my IQ score.
Okay. What is it? Oh, click the button.
I got it.
All right. Let's see it.
Calculating.
112. This is fake.
Is that like good?
It's better than 70.
Wait, what's it out of?
I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
Steven, what's the highest IQ you can get?
Joel's
I'll
20%
take it,
smarter
baby.
than the average person.
I'll take it.
This is a clearly a valid test.
How many did I get wrong? No,
Wait,
they're telling me.
they're telling you?
I got them all right.
You got them all right?
No. But anyway,
Yeah, that's not real.
I like my art teacher said I'm going to be famous someday. I also like Basement Boys Getting Wild.
Basement Boys Getting Wild.
In parentheses.
Ooh.
That sounds dirty.
Ooh, that's a good show. Write down in the comments if you would listen to or watch Basement Boys Getting Wild.
So I have
the wild in
I have a question. What do you think in general about despite the working with my, prima donna personality type?
All right.
What because it's been about a year.
Yeah.
This might even be somewhere in there. It's been about a year since we've been trying to do this stuff. Like, what's your takeaway of what it was like to run a semi-successful podcast?
Well, I think I need.
What did it teach you?
I think it's just like sort of a baseline for me of like necessity. Like I need to be making something. Right.
Why don't you make your bed?
That's like
I need
like a cleaned up version of another joke.
I need to be making something.
Yeah, but I'm like a creative person, and if I don't have some sort of outlet for that, I'll be a little displeased with.
So so this was a creative outlet for you.
Yes.
But you were very like more adherent to trying to do format and learning things, and
that's part of the creative.
It's part of the creative structure.
It's about reinterpretation. That's a creative thing you can do.
I think Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was not good.
You didn't even watch it.
No, I didn't even see it.
You didn't even watch it. You're just trying to drum up.
I'm just a hater. I also just hate Taylor Swift's new album, whatever that is.
All right.
Dude. But yeah, creative outlet.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least have something to do that like I'm making and putting out into the world.
Yeah.
Cause like that's kind of been my whole life, is like just making stuff, and it never blows up, but the people who get it
Are entertained.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like at the end of the day, like there's the 1 percentile of artists that really make something that's renowned, you know?
Yes.
There's like that teeny tiny percentile. And I feel like for the average Joe, you know, like you and me, you know, like I like playing the banjo, but
Yeah.
I'm never going to be a professional at that. I'm never going to, you know, like, you know, go crazy with that. But I like doing it because it's kind of for me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think for me, with this podcast, I think the parts that I really enjoyed doing was when it was for me, you know, when I was just having fun, you know, not really thinking about the greater audience, which unfortunately, if you want to grow, you've got to be like very audience centered for most things, you know.
I feel like ideally it's like some sort of balance where you're like well stimulated by what you're doing, but it's also something that there's a strong audience for.
That's the thing. So
we've just dipped into completely stimulating Joel. No concern for audience.
Yeah, why not, dude? Stimulate me. That should be the name of the podcast.
Stimulate me.
Stimulate Joel.
Stimulate Joel. Oh my gosh.
We could make t-shirts. You could wear them to church.
I hope so.
No. But yeah. No, it was interesting. It was like good for me to do the whole structure of it for as long as we did it, because I mean, not gonna lie, it was stressful for me sometimes to try and like keep up with everything I was doing, and then I had this other commitment, right? And that was stressful to me at points.
Well, I think and I dove into it a little heavier than you. So like we in the beginning were doing like 3 weeks of backlog, and then I was working a month ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So at any given time, I sort of had 7 different like works.
Yeah.
Or even there were times where I had like 9, because I'd finish one thing and I'd start working ahead on the next. And so I was working on like 9, or I had like 9 different things on my mind at once.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was
you dove into it pretty hard. And that was the thing, man, is like, you know, when I was like in such a different life position when we kind of first initially drummed this up, you know. I don't know what I was like looking for out of it, but I was like, oh, this sounds like a really good idea. And then
Yeah.
like, my life got turned upside down.
It did.
And it was such an interesting thing because it was like, you're trying to contend with the reality of life and then this other thing that you're kind of doing, and that was always a hard thing for me to come to terms with sometimes, because I was like dealing with like the hardest part of my life by a long shot. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I've got like this podcast. Trent's like calling me like, what are we doing for the podcast? And I'm like, I'm trying to get out of court. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. And it was but it was interesting though.
Yeah.
And it was good to at least have like some structure and friendship and all that stuff,
Yeah, I think part of the tricky thing for me has been just like balancing like kind of the obligation we have to this podcast
Yeah.
with our friendship, because it's like this is kind of what brings us together, and we have some sort of commitment to it. We could drop it at any time, obviously. Joel's out. But so that especially early on there was that feeling of like, oh, we have to put out an episode every week.
Yeah.
And so like trying to contend that with you're going through a lot, and it's like I've got like pretty I'm like pretty driven to make this happen, but it's like I have to figure out how to balance that out with like, hey, like you still have to be a good friend who's like sensitive to where your
be
friends at in their
sensitive to
situation.
me.
No, dude.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting test in friendship.
Yeah.
Because prior to this, I never really had too many disagreements with you or like hard feelings towards you for anything. And it was interesting because like when we started doing this and getting along with this, like there was some of that stuff that I had to kind of work out a little bit with you that I never really did. And it's not like it was your fault, but it was just kind of the setting that we were in.
Yeah. Well, Joel, you know what you said?
What did I say?
If you ever have a problem with Trent, it's your fault.
That's true. But but if it's me, I have said that before, and I do stand by that to some degree. Unless it's me, then I take precedent.
So good to know. Everyone, or if anyone has a problem with me except you,
It's your fault.
yeah,
Except if it's me, then it's not my fault.
got it.
I'm battling demons, and by battling demons, I mean taking responsibilities for my actions.
Yeah. Well, I
But-
think as like kind of like co-creators, and Steven's kind of mixed in with this as well, but if you're all working on something and you have different ideas of what you want and like where you want to go, then conflict's pretty much inevitable.
Yeah.
And it's less a question of like whether it's going to happen and more how you handle it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what do you want out of it, and how do you... I feel like I'm just the worst because, like, I'm just so hard to work with. Like, I'm so hard to
I know.
please on things
Yep.
because it's like...
Look at you. I've finally caved in and just said, you know what? Zero structure.
format.
Absolute zero structure.
Well, the thing is, like, I like that you like structure and things, but I just don't, it's like
Yeah.
there's already so much set structure in life that I have to navigate through. Even like my job now, like my full-time job now is just based all on rules, right? Code, right? There's no room for, there's some room for like experimentation and creativity, I guess, in some regards for how you get along with stuff. But for the most part, it's like there's such a rigid structure you have to adhere to, and so I think in my free time, in the little small bits, having no structure is kind of freeing, but to an extent, because without structure, I'm pretty much worthless.
So the only structure left is that the podcast exists.
That's the structure. But no, dude, it was good for me to have that structure though, and have some like accountability for something, and kind of like get out of the seriousness of like, because yeah, I mean, that was a serious time, but it didn't have to be as serious as it was. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't have to be like, oh, Joel's really fighting through some stuff. Like, sure, but that doesn't mean I can't just be a dude and hang out and chill with my buddy and do something, you know? And like kudos to you, dude, like for really forcing this through for a whole year.
We did it.
You know?
I put Joel up to structure for a whole year.
This has been a good social experiment.
Yeah. Cuz I mean that's been pretty much your whole life though, cuz I mean your brothers are pretty structured dudes. Daniel's kind of moderate in that sense, but
Daniel's got a fair bit.
Yeah. But you're the quintessential youngest child.
Oh man, I have such youngest child problems, dude.
You got youngest child syndrome.
I was talking to this girl the other day, and she was like, "I bet you're a youngest child."
Hey.
I'm like, "How could you tell?" She's like, "'Cause you went to jail."
You hear that, Emily? You're going to jail.
No, dude, she's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, youngest child.
Youngest child. So yeah, and we're both like kind of the hyper stereotypes of our order in the like our place in the birth order.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm very much the stereotypical like middle of the road, you know, just kind of peacemaker. What you snickering about over there?
Nothing, dude. I'm just farting.
You're just farting?
Yeah.
You're just farting on my podcast?
Keep talking.
Dude, I'm gonna fight you. Next time you fart on my podcast, it'll be the last thing you do.
I hope so. So you're the middle child, boo-hoo woes you.
No. Dude, I'm incredibly based because I'm a middle child. All right? Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like being the middle child? How do you feel? Do you feel inferior?
No.
Interesting.
Why would you think
I don't know,
inferior?
because the oldest child has all the responsibility and all the burden, and they're always so like uptight because they had to deal with all these rules and structure and system that their parents were really eager to put in place for their first child. And then the youngest child is like this magical little star pixie that gets to do pretty much what they want. And that leaves the middle child to kind of just be like, I don't know, like the millennial generation of birth order. Like, you know, the party's kind of over, but you didn't really get to enjoy the party in the first place. And then the younger kids are getting to have a new kind of party. And so you're kind of just miserable, and you work at McDonald's and you have like an apartment you can't afford. Is that kind of how you feel as the middle child?
I don't work at McDonald's.
You could.
I could.
You'd probably make more money working there.
Yeah, I probably would actually.
They're making a lot of money.
I mean, I could probably apply to McDonald's today because I have retail management experience.
So sorry to take you off the track of talking about your.
Oh, really?
experience.
You've never done that before?
Under what qualifications would you legitimately consider a job at McDonald's? Like, and I'm talking like a committed career. Like, I'm talking like 3, maybe 4 years of hard time at McDonald's. That is your deal.
A committed career is like 3 or 4 years.
Well, no, but I mean, it's McDonald's, so you know the
money.
Committed. No, but like
dollars and cents.
But like, let's say the base pay is kind of what it is.
Okay.
All right. So it's not like crazy, like, oh, $45 an hour, I work at McDonald's. Like, what things in that situation need to come together for you to be like, I could legitimately work at McDonald's and have a good time?
It'd have to be 9 to 5.
Okay. I think that's manageable.
Yeah, it might be actually. That's doable. Or actually, even 8 to 4, I could do. I could swing that.
8 to 4 is pretty good. You
Yeah.
start earlier, but you're finished earlier.
Yep. It basically just changes when your bedtime is, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. The employees would have to be excellent.
Okay.
Like, I'd have to really enjoy working with them.
Yeah.
And the management too.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there? Like, I already know I'm not going to enjoy the work.
You could though.
Dude,
You could though. Flipping burgers could be a lot of fun.
maybe.
So here's how I'm seeing it. I get a bunch of my buddies all work at McDonald's with me.
Okay. Ooh.
So we're not talking about just rando good workers. We're talking about me and my buddies.
The boys.
Me and the boys.
Okay.
And we hammer it out. We get to play music in the back. All right. So we get to play music throughout the day.
You've thought this through. You've been thinking about this.
I literally just thought this of this on the spot. And then swag.
Swag?
I'm talking fitted hats. I'm talking like make me proud to work at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like really load me up with that goodie bag when I go home. Like give me like a Carhartt jacket with the big golden arches on the back. I want people to know. Company car. And it doesn't have to be a good one, like a smart car, but just says McDonald's on it. And I think that'd be about it.
You know what to ask for. Dude, this is classic youngest child behavior.
See, you were so like middle of the road.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I'm middle of the road about being a middle child too.
And here's the thing. You get to kind of customize so you become kind of like the franchisee.
Okay.
Like you can work your way into becoming the franchise owner. Like you kind of compete for it a little bit. So there's that competitive edge. So if I want to put GameCubes back in the play place, I could do that.
Whoa.
You remember that?
I remember GameCubes in the play place.
Remember Sonic Heroes on the GameCube at McDonald's?
I remember Mario Kart at the McDonald's.
Remember those big chairs with the purple guy on it? Grimace.
I do. Dude, there's something fascinating about that dude.
Grimace?
Yeah.
He's an interesting fella. Where do you think he is on the birth order?
He kind of gives off oldest child vibes.
I'm getting like second middle child.
Second middle child.
Out of
Okay, so
4.
he's got like some of that older child vibes, but he's also
older child, but he's also middle child.
Middle of the road. Ronald McDonald, what do you think?
Just in general, I think Ronald McDonald has committed war crimes.
Oh, good. No, I was thinking like middle.
Oh, in the birth order?
Yeah, in birth order.
Oh, definitely an oldest child.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
He's
Absolutely.
a clown, but he takes himself too seriously.
He takes himself seriously like an oldest child.
Like he is quintessential oldest child material. Piece of crap.
Isn't there like a duck-looking girl?
Yeah, let's look up all the mascots.
All right.
I know the Hamburglers in there. See, we're learning.
We're learning.
McDonald's.
Yeah, but you wouldn't get this on a podcast about well-liked works of art.
This is pretty much like Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, we're moving away from being dissect.
Right.
And
we're on the
Joe
McDonald's
Rogan.
wiki here.
Right. What do we got?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
No, it's not called Wikipedia, and I'm disappointed.
What?
Not
Dude, you
loading.
got to contact the admins. Let them know what they're missing out on.
Okay, hold on. I really want to see this. Why isn't it loading? All right, while this is loading, I want to tell a story.
You live out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, I found it.
Okay.
I do live out in the middle of
It's
nowhere.
just the McDonald's wiki.
Okay, so there's the Hamburglar.
Oh yeah, the Hamburglar.
You guys remember the Hamburglar?
All right, what's his birth order?
He is definitely a youngest child.
Yeah. I gotta
Career
give off that
criminal.
vibe.
No
that's true.
responsibility.
He's been to jail, so
He's
he has
been
to
to
be
jail.
a
He's the youngest child. Sunday. Ronald's dog.
His dog? Dude, we know nothing about how birth order affects dogs.
The
they were
Ronald
probably all
McDonald
born. He was probably born at the same time as his
here's
siblings.
the duck you're talking about. It's Birdie the early bird.
I thought it was a girl.
It is a girl.
Oh, it's Birdie.
Yeah.
I thought you said Bernie.
It was Bernie the early bird. It's just a trucker. Where's my Big Mac?
I'm an oldest child.
I'll sell you a baby for a Big Mac.
Okay. Birdie.
She's clumsy in general.
She's the youngest child.
Definitely a youngest child. Fry Kids.
Fry Kids. Oh, I forgot about what do they look like?
I don't know what the
Look up a picture of Fry Kids.
No, not Fried Kids.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
FBI wants to
They're
know
like
your location.
Oh, you can buy the
Oh,
Funko Pop. That's great.
They're like Furbies without beaks.
They're like hairy M&Ms. They look like hairy M&Ms. That's kind of ridiculous that you can buy these as a Funko Pop.
But there's multiple of them, so you can't really say like, oh, they give off youngest child
I
energy.
hate Funko Pops. Yeah, they're just the family. Mayor McCheese, oldest child.
Wait, what's Mayor McCheese?
You don't know who Mayor McCheese is?
No.
He's the mayor of Burgerland. There he is. Mayor McCheese.
No, I feel like I've never seen this guy.
Yep.
I don't think he's real. He kind of looks like the donut from the Donut Man.
Dude, that was just... All right, so we're going to do Swine Before Pearls again, but we're going to review the Donut
Just
Man.
the Donut Man.
Nobody has reviewed the Donut Man.
We can just make our unstructured show. Like we can have themes to our new unstructured
I
show.
just want to watch the Donut Man.
The Donut Man podcast.
All right,
How many episodes are there in the Donut Man?
let's look that up.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar, the Donut Man is a kids television show that teaches kids Bible stories, and it's got like kids reenacting stories. And if you've ever seen the viral video that was in the important videos playlist, there's a video called The Almighty Loaf where they bake this loaf, and in the original Donut Man show,
They bake it with the words of Christ.
yeah, but in the other video, he's like saying like demonic, satanic stuff.
Yeah, the seed which germinates.
And we formed
Is there a
cult around
Donut
him.
Man Wikipedia?
Probably not.
Religion Wiki.
Religion Wiki.
Guys, we're on Religion Wiki.
What do you mean Religion Wiki? There's like a billion religions.
Oh, he converted to Catholicism.
He did.
That's not right.
What?
There's a hole in the middle of your heart.
He converted to Catholicism?
Yeah, 2009.
Oh,
So the
that's
Donut...
pretty random.
So fun fact, the Donut Man kind of looked like my dad.
Huh.
Like,
how often do you hear of like Protestants and Catholics switching over?
it kind of makes sense. So I was thinking about something at church on
Oh, yeah?
Sunday. We were singing this song, and it was just kind of like this, I don't know, it's kind of like a nothing song. And you could tell people were just kind of trying to feel good. And I was like, what if we just sang like some really cool old, you know, Latin crap
some
that nobody,
like Gregorian
yeah,
chants?
Gregorian chant that nobody understands, and it's just very like sacred, like the sacredness of it, and the pageant, not the pageantry, but just like the untouchableness, like, you know, just make it really exclusive.
You know what you need to do is you need to
Robin.
you need to go to your church and post like a piece of paper and like nail it to the wall that's got 95 things wrong with the Protestant church,
95 theses.
and then return to Catholicism and then start another war like they had during the
Yeah, it kind of
like years following
kind of
the
just
Protestant
reminded me of my
Reformation.
dad, honestly.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
but
You just knocked over our VHS copy of Babe.
that's okay. So yeah, we can review the Donut Man. I'd be down for that. Get into the theology. Should we
Ooh.
be a theology podcast?
Yeah, theology podcast.
I think we're very
I thi-
very qualified to talk about it.
I think we would make everyone hate us.
Probably. Man, if we got Taylor Swift fans riled, imagine if we said something about
Theology fans.
yeah, theology nerds. Oh man. Be like, I can't believe these pre-dispensationalists are talking like this.
Oh my gosh,
I
that's
get-
true.
Get
That's true.
so
Pete.
lost in the sauce with that stuff.
Yeah. As soon as the big terms comes out, it's over, man. It's over.
Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of stopped trying.
You got to keep trying. How else are you gonna be cool?
By knowing a lot of theology.
Yeah, that's right. That's your only.
Be
path
one of those
forward.
guys with like a leg tattoo that's like, this is this really niche theological statement that I got tattooed, and I'm a cool college guy with cool hair. And I went to Bible school.
You did go to Bible school.
Dude, I was a bad Bible school student though. I never did any homework. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's because you didn't go to an accredited institution.
Well, so I
it
didn't
was
go to an
worthless.
accredited institution, and I was just having fun. I was just having a good time there. And so I was like, well, I could learn something, but it doesn't really matter what kind of grades I get. So I kind of just called it good.
Understandable.
You know, do I feel bad about it? Not really. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you paid them money.
Yeah.
So I think you can do what you want with that money.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? Kick me out? They
Oh.
almost did.
They almost did.
Yeah, they
What'd
found me.
kick you out for?
So, me and these two other goobers, it's like second week of Bible school. And I was a chronic vapor at the time. And not like cool gas station vapes like everybody does now. Like I'm talking just the whole hog. Like it was the Wild West back then. Like you'd walk around with this giant ass thing, 2 lithium batteries in it, and it would fire off at 300 watts at any moment. Like it just go haywire because you build them yourself, which is extra sketchy.
Oh, you built them yourself?
You build
I did
them
not know-
yourself. Yeah.
I thought you bought them like pre-built.
No,
They were
no.
just sitting on the shelf at the grocery store.
No, so the ones now they're all pre-built and stuff, but
Yeah.
back in the day you had to like build your own stuff and make it work. So it was really sketchy because everyone's basically walking around with a homemade pipe bomb in their shorts. Like literally, I was walking on the light rail one day, and my legs started to feel really, really warm, and I started smelling like caramel and flesh. And then all of a sudden, I looked down, and there's just a hole burning in my pocket because this thing is just firing off like full cylinders. It was gnarly. Anyway, so I get to Bible school. And it's like 2 weeks in, and I meet these two guys, and I'm like, these guys look like they're down to clown. I'm like, hey, you guys like vape? And they're like, yeah, dude, we vape. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was like, there was a rule, you're not supposed to vape on campus. And what they really mean is they don't want you vaping while you're there. You know, they want you to like be in good mental cognition. But I was like, all right, fellas, I got an idea. Let's get my minivan before curfew, drive down the hill, because we lived on the top of this big hill. We'll drive down the hill, and we'll sit in the back of my minivan, and we'll vape. So that's what we did. We started doing it, and it was a lot of fun. That was the thing, was like, I was getting to know these guys that I never would have gotten to know. And it was because we were all degens that wanted to go vape in the bottom of my car. And then slowly, like, other people kind of started figuring out what was going on. So I was, like, shuttling down 6 people to the bottom of this hill. I'd have all my curtains drawn in the back of the van, and we'd just all sit there and vape, and we'd hotbox it. So we'd get as much vape clouds as we could, and with all the windows shut. So it'd just be this big steam room, right? And we're just all in the middle of this country road doing this stuff. So and we had a code word for when we wanted to go do it. You know what the code word was?
What was the code word?
Somebody come up and say, hey, you guys want to go chill? Just the most obvious code word. And one of these girls came up to me and they said, Joel, you always come back from the bottom of the hill and you always smell like, you and the guys, you always smell like really good. Like you always smell like,
I had no idea.
like watermelon and blueberries and like custard. And it's like, yeah, just like, I don't know, we just smell good. Anyways.
Dude, the smell of vape makes me nostalgic for our college days together.
Yeah, dude.
I never did vape, just
No.
for the record, but his
No.
car was just pungent.
Oh, dude, it was so good. And so anyway, so we're at the bottom of the hill one night, right? And, you know, we're kind of doing our thing. And all of a sudden, this car drives by. And then the car stops. And it's like the dean of men and his wife. And he
The dean of men.
yeah, like walks up to the car, like sees me in the passenger seat, knocks on the window. So I'm like, oh shoot. So I roll down the window and it's just like like all this smoke is like flying out. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, what's up, dude? He's like, I don't know. What's up with you? I'm like, I'm just hanging out with the guys talking about God. And he was like, okay, you guys have a nice night. And he leaves. He doesn't say anything. And I'm like, holy shoot, dude. Like, that looked sketchy as hell. And he didn't say anything. And I get a phone call. He said, hey, Joel, my wife was in the car with me and she saw like smoke coming out of the car. You want to come over and talk to me? So anyways, I got busted.
You got busted.
And I was on told everybody I wasn't gonna vape. And then I kept vaping.
Did you keep chilling?
No, we stopped chilling. So the chilling stopped.
Okay, the chilling.
But I partook in my degeneracy privately from that point on. My girlfriend at the time was very upset. She was like, I had no idea Joel vaped.
Wait, you had a girlfriend 2 weeks in?
Like 2 or 3 weeks in, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was after like a couple months.
No, it was after a couple months. So maybe
I guess
she was like my proto girlfriend.
Oh, okay, she wasn't your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
But
so it's like something.
There was like a little something going on.
There's something going on.
Something in the air.
So that was a funny story.
Yeah, I think you've told it before, actually.
On the podcast?
No, just to me.
Okay, well, I told it on the podcast.
Yeah, now you told it on the podcast, which is what really matters. Because we're here for the content. We're not here to hang out. We don't actually like each other in real life.
No. I can't stand the guy.
No. I literally just show up to record the podcast and leave right away.
Yeah.
We can't stand each other.
Yeah. And I'm like, thank goodness that guy's gone.
Yep. We're like, I think the Mythbusters guys were actually like that. Adam
Really?
and Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just like didn't really like each other that much. Like they just had like good working chemistry, but they didn't like each other as people.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's like really respectable.
Yeah. And I mean they put out a good product.
Yeah, I would have never noticed that from it.
Yeah.
Wasn't like C-3PO and R2-D2, didn't they hate each other? Like the actors who played each other?
Know.
I think they had like a big feud.
Okay. I'm not into the behind the scenes lore of
You
Star
should
Wars.
be, because it's important, Trent.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's
I forgot
important
about
how
that.
these movies are made.
That's true.
All the drama.
It's the nerd Bible.
It's the nerd Bible.
If you don't have that memorized, are you really a good nerd?
No.
No.
I think I'm losing my my knowledge for that stuff though over
Yeah.
time.
Well,
I don't exercise that muscle enough.
you've kind of escaped from the nerd life. Like you don't even. Do you even have access to Wi-Fi in your RV?
I've got like data on my phone.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a little harder to be a nerd with just data on your.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care for like Reddit. No, dude. I don't like Reddit. I don't know, dude. Like, so I think
Wait, that's how you pick up girls. That's the secret, is that you don't use
that I
Reddit.
just don't use Reddit. I'm like, I don't know. You tell
Yeah.
me. No, dude. I think something I was thinking about today is like how just kind of thinking about the podcast and everything, just how like my affinity for like pop culture and finding like new pop culture to be interested in has like really lessened
Yeah.
as
Well,
I've over the time.
I remember when we like kind of thought of each other and like of ourselves as like pop culture guys. Like we were the guys in the know.
Yeah, because I think we were for a little bit
Yeah.
there, like 2016, that kind of era of things. Like we were on top of memes, the happenings, everything. It was very connected, and now it's like couldn't care less if there's
Yeah.
like a new thing. I think I'm becoming an old man is the big thing.
It's possible.
I'm an old man, dude. My body hurts. I'm cranky at things that are stupid.
It's possible.
I think I'm getting old.
You might be.
But I was talking to this kid I'm working with, and he was like, "What TV shows are you into?" And I'm like, oh, I watch Futurama. And he's like, didn't that come out like 10 years ago?
That's what makes it great.
And I'm like, I suppose it did. And he's like, don't you watch anything more modern? And I'm like, that's not modern. And I'm like, well, I don't even like watch it for pleasure anymore. I just put things on and I fall asleep. Like, I don't really want to like consume new things, which is the antithesis
of making this podcast. Yeah.
Joel doesn't want to learn new things.
Dude, your brain's rotting already.
I think my brain's healthy.
There's just no room for new information.
But there's like new things that I get onto, like new music and stuff every now and again.
I think that's the important thing.
I think
new music is great.
I
live for new music.
Yeah, I think music is super prevalent. But I also have like realized that I like the music that I like and the genres that I like.
You're not trying to,
and I don't care too much to venture into newer stuff.
See, that's where you and I are different, because all I want is that high of discovering something that I might not have liked otherwise if I didn't put in some legwork and get out there.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and I think I think that works for you, you know, but for me it's like I kind of like my old reliables, because there's certain songs that invoke certain feelings and certain memories and certain meanings. You know, I think what I look for is the soundtracks to my life, you know, and I don't find that in like the newest or the digging up of something different. I find that in the old reliables. Like I'm still listening to music I was listening to 4 years ago sometimes, you know, but it plays as like a soundtrack behind whatever I'm doing in my day to day, you know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look here. I'm trying to figure out how many new albums I've had on loop this year.
Trent's gonna just flex. He's gonna be like, "Look at all this new stuff I listen to, Joel. Who cares about this? Who cares about the soundtrack of your life?"
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
How do you check that?
10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. Actually, 16.
How do you check that?
So I have a playlist of the albums that I'm vibing to at the current moment. And so every 2 years, I'll make a new albums playlist.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So my current playlist is probably on its last legs.
You need to come up with some new stuff.
Yep. No, I just need to reject the old stuff. But I keep looking for new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You found anything lately you're really into?
I think the most recent find for me, this album's a couple years old now, but it's Ugly is Beautiful by Oliver Tree. Do you know Oliver Tree?
Yeah, dude, he's the guy with the weird haircut.
Yeah, he's the really obnoxious guy, but his music kind of slaps them.
Yeah, he is pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
I see him in like interviews and stuff, and I'm like, I get it, like you're doing a bit, but it's a little bit annoying. It's almost like 2017 H3H3, and it just won't stop.
Yeah, well he was on the H3 podcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bit. That makes sense.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's the bit is to draw attention to his actual music.
Yeah,
which that album is really good, and I've been kind of an angsty guy recently. It's like perfect for setting the tone, you know.
Yeah, I think good angst music is the vibe right now.
Yeah.
I've been in my angst phase lately. I've had a lot of midweek late night driving. I played that one song from Fight Club one night while I was driving. Where is my mind? And I kind of just spaced out to it. I was like, okay. But actually, I take back everything I said.
Oh, yeah?
About everything.
Everything.
I've been going to the gym lately.
All right.
And the music I listen to for work and just driving around doing my stuff, totally different vibe, you know, just kind of like working man music, you know, whatever I'm feeling that day, right? But since I've been going to the gym lately, I've kind of had to delve in a little bit more for harder stuff.
Yeah, get something
to
that you can
get
actually
me
work out
going.
to.
And there's this new, it's pretty mainstream at this point, but there's this newer, it's not new, I guess. It's been around for a little bit, but there's this subgenre called funk. Phonk.
I've heard of that.
It's kind of weird. It's just like hard bass, like not even hard bass. It's interesting, but I like working out to it. It's like whatever you see the Giga Chad memes, what they play in the background of those, you know. But it's kind of
you just want to be a Giga Chad.
I'm trying,
that's
dude.
what you're working towards,
dude. I'm demon mode 2023.
You got to get that strong chin, man. That's what really does you in.
I've got like an okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not Giga Chad though.
No, I've seen stronger chins. You know, I've been humbled. I was at this party. All the guys there were 6'3", just incredible. I was the shortest guy there, which is incredible because I feel like I'm not the shortest guy in most situations.
Doesn't that make you feel inadequate? Like we're roughly the same height.
Yeah, dude. We're like above average height for most things.
But when we're looking up at people, it's like something's wrong with the universe
like,
right now.
Just I like show up, I'm wearing overalls and there's these dudes walking around and they're just razor sharp jawlines, just Adonises, just plastered. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like a little goblin. like I need to just crawl into my cave when I'm done with this. Like just this little hook-nosed goblin.
That's why you needed the angsty music.
Honestly, yeah. No, it turned out for me. My charisma. That's the thing, is my charisma build wins out against barbarian classes every single time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm all good. That's the thing. I'm all good. I'm a resentful guy, but I'm all good. Like I can make friends with anybody.
Yeah.
But
and you ain't got my slow burn charisma.
Yeah. Seriously. But yeah, dude,
About that time.
I think it's about that time.
Hey, all right. So what are we calling the show?
Pigs in a blanket.
Pigs in a blanket.
I don't know, dude. I mean, do you want to rebrand it? Like what? Like
leave a comment to the one person who gets to the end of the video. You get to name the video, or you get to name the podcast. Dapper Slaps.
Dapper Slaps. I just want to interview that guy. See, now that's the stuff I get out of bed for. Like
interviewing Dapper Slaps.
I want to interview Dapper Slaps.
He's our number one fan. If you think you're our number one fan,
you're not.
You're not.
Dapper Slaps.
Dapper Slaps is.
I just want to hear where he's from, like what he thinks of us, like what he thinks we could be doing better. You know, I like Dapper Slaps. I like him as a person. I think he's a good guy.
He probably is.
Probably not.
Okay.
No, he probably is.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
We're just here, dude. We're here. We're chilling. We're waiting for you.
We're vibing. Maybe it'll be the same show. Maybe it won't.
Maybe it won't. You had fun though, right?
Yeah, we had fun.
We had fun. We talked about middle children.
We did.
Trent's a middle child.
I'm a middle child.
I didn't even figure out, why he feels that way.
You'll never will.
I never will.